today's going to be something just a little bit different, and that is modular synths. I mean, you saw it coming. I'm going to get into it one day or another, even though I have actually been avoiding getting into modular synth for a long time now. And yeah, because it scares me. PCBWare are an electronics PCB prototyping company who deal with many different types of PCBs, such as flexible, rigid flex, multi-layer, and HDI types. You can choose from many different types of PCBs, whether it's a standard, inexpensive, for simple projects, or an advanced complex PCB for your more high-precision electronics projects. They are a one-stop solution since they also deal with 3D printing, injection molding, sheet metal fabrication, and CNC machining. Your personal projects can be shared on their website, and there is a PCB Projects on the Week section with many videos. Now, since knowing that I've been getting synth modules and I've ordered these, Rich has been joking about me filling the walls up with synth modules. Rest assured that is not going to happen, because it's these things already scaring me. Not because of all these wires and everything and all these cables. It's actually because of the cost of it all. Literally, I've got everything secondhand as much as I could, and you know, at a fraction of the price. Now this one, hello you. What have you got all over your head? Full of cobwebs. Where have you been? It's got cat hairs all over it now. Anyway, as I was saying before I was cutely interrupted, this modular cases actually are quite expensive, especially if you're getting it with the power supply and everything. Now, one of the reasons why I got this one is because despite it feeling a bit gimmicky and not being the exact design that I would like, it's actually a really good case, because it comes with all the something that you would have to get a module for, that is MIDI connectivity, also audio connectivity. So MIDI connectivity connects to all these here. Now I do plan to customize this, and I'm talking about the look of it, just like I did with my Amiga 1200 a few years back. I did that beautiful metallic blue, and I think I'm gonna do homage to it now that I've towered that Amiga and I don't have the blue Amiga anymore. First module which I'll put in here, which I bought for this. You're not good at that. And I think that blue would look good with the first, especially with this module that I bought. They call the Dreadbox Chromatic series, and they come in these beautiful colors, and you know me with colors. I've got a weakness for colorful things. Now, despite it being tempting getting, you know, all the others in the series, I decided to just get this one, which is, you know, what I would need from this, and that's a VCO. And then, you know, the other modules, I want a good variety of them at once. And this one, again, I got it secondhand and like half the price. So yeah, I'm trying to be very careful with this and how I spend with this, because this can get really dangerous. Now, Create Audio do actually have it becomes in a bundle. There's chips and there's cells, the two modules of theirs. Now, I avoided them, especially, by instinct I avoided them. Now, I came across a Molten Music Technologies video where he was actually reviewing this, and he was reviewing those two modules as well, and great review on this case. I will link it in the description below. You know, after watching them on his video, I realized they were just not for me. Now, all you need to really do is just connect the power on these. Now, they each come with these connectors here, and that's it. You just put one in. Cat hairs. Literally, just before this. Again, as I said recently, I've been selling quite a few things and also saving up. And just kind of whittling down a few things that I don't use anymore or need anymore, and just refining all the things that I have. Now, what made me finally take the plunge after all this time to go in the modular? So I got myself a beautiful Moog Mother-32. Now, one thing was dangerous about this, besides it being a Moog, and I couldn't resist it because I love the Moog sound, the classic Moog sound. And there's, you know, the series of these. There's the Mother-32, there's, you know, the subharmonica, and there's the labyrinth, there's all these, right? The DFAM and all that. So I didn't really go with any of them. I went with the Mother-32 specifically because it's actually the classic Moog sound. You know, it's got the classic Moog, it's like basically it sounds like Moog in the 70s and the 80s. So that got me, and I was like, no, I need one of these. The dangerous thing about this is it's semi-modular, so it's got all these, right? And yeah, the first time I got it, I took it out the box and I was messing with this semi-modular part for, I think it was 3 to 4 hours straight, and I didn't even realize the time go by. I think this needs a friend. So I was trying to look at the other Moogs in the series, right, for this to have a friend. So I can connect it to, right? The DFAM was obviously another obvious choice that I could have gone with regards to the Moog, but I thought, okay, why not just create a small little modular synthesizer set, so this can be the friend of that, and I can interconnect them. That's what made me look at this. So it's your fault. It's your fault that I've gone into this rabbit hole now, okay? 2 others for now. And both of them secondhand. In fact, everything here I got is actually secondhand and a fraction of the price, which it would have been for. Okay, so the second thing I got is a dual ADSR, well, a dual, just read it from there, envelope generator by MFB. Actually, it's a HDSR. This has got the hold here as well. Now, this one seems to be quite a multi sort of function module. It's the Doopfer, which is apparently really good. Well, actually, apparently Doopfer, these came up with the Eurorack thing originally. Right, so this is the Doopfer A1472. VCD LFO. So it's voltage control delayed LFO. It's not delay, it's not effects or anything, it's just, it's a multitude of things. It's a VCA, voltage controlled amplifier, but it's also an LFO. Anyway, either way, it does stuff. Does this fit? I'm scared. Oh my goodness, just about. That's so deep. Oh, you gotta be careful with that. Because look, that's literally 5 millimeters. 5 millimeters more? And it'd have been completely flush, and I would not have been able to actually fit this in this case. You gotta be careful with the depth of these cases then as well. I know some people's synth racks I've seen, they like it all uniform, all from one company or one color or something like this. But you know something? I like having variety, I should say. So I pride myself on that. So for now, I have these 3. And possibly one, if there's a van pulling up. Possibly one more, yeah, because I did order one more. which has not arrived yet. You're trying to get inside that box. There's a big box over there, which you didn't touch. But you're trying to get inside this diddly one. He must think he's like 10 centimeters tall. You are such an attention seeker, you pussycat. Right, so I've managed to find matching screws, temporary screws only. I'm gonna see if there's low profile ones, but just so you know, these are old PC hard drive screws, you know, when you install hard drives in PC. Right, so in this setup, what's fundamentally missing now is a filter, and that I don't have yet. However, for now, what I can do is use the Moog filter on that, because I can input it and use the filter there. There we go. Okay, so we have here LFO module. Very well packed, thank you seller. And here it is. It's the LFO10 by, I think, frequency. Okay, nice. So we have now 4 modules. Now it's gonna be 4 modules for a little while before I save up and get myself a dedicated filter module. Ooh, that's nice. I like that. Right, so now then, what I need to do here is figure out how to do this. First things first, okay? CV and gate. Okay, so that's CV1 going into there. So the gate will then go into the envelope generator, because that needs gate control. And then I'm going to call in lemon screws. Right, okay, one thing I want to notice, so anyone else who's thinking about this doesn't fall into the same trap. This is a little mixer. It's one little bear on Duke Audio mixer. It's by dukeaudio.com. Now, what made me fall in love with this was the VU meters. Now, the build and everything is good, right? Mini little review here. It's doing all the right things. It's got both 3.5mm and 6.25, I think it is. It's got them for each channel, so you don't use adapters for that. And they've got mono stereo switches here. They've literally thought of everything. It's wonderful, all the features, and just what I would need, except for one thing. There is noise on this. I don't recommend it for recording. If you're just monitoring and if you're just messing around, then okay, yeah. Okay, so we finally got some sound out of this, and that's just literally, I'm just trying it on this first, okay? So the CV goes to that. This out. If I connect it to that, you can hear the signal coming from there, and you can see it there, of course. It'd be better if I had an oscilloscope, but then, you know, I can't afford that. As in one for here. That reminds me of the sound. It sounds like the video pack G7000. Showing my age there. 80s child. Around 20 hours later, I think, around about, I know exactly what I'm doing here now. I've learned exactly what each of these modules does and how it works and operates and all that. So, and bearing in mind this is my first ever time I've touched a modular synth. It'd help if I put the power adapter in. Actually, before I do that, there we go. I have so many of these wall farts that it's just, you cannot keep up which one's what. I don't want to plug the wrong one in the wrong one to different voltages. First thing, the MIDI CV goes into CV. What's going on here? Oh, it's connected to that. Okay, yeah, so I've got a MIDI chain going on here. It's going into this as well as going into that. Let's mute that for now so it doesn't confuse. Now then, there's two things going on here. There is control voltages, and then there is audio as well. So the output to this is the audio signal. The signal of the audio signal is in the signal of the wave. Let's take that just straight out into there. Where's the sound? There is no sound. Do you know why? Because you don't take it out of out one, do you? You take it out of down this. Because, right? Out one, that's a control voltage, is in DC waveform. DC voltage, sorry. So that's that. And the different type of waveform. Let's do a soft waveform, so it's not so piercing to the ears. So we've got it reacting to this. This table is actually, I knew it's bumpy because it's rustic. That's why there's a lot of things teetering. Okay, so we got a basic thingy out. It's not gone through the envelope generator yet because that, we have to take that into the VCA. Okay, so the out one there, that goes into the control voltage, so the VCA, right, on this module. I figured out what this is. It's LFO, it's VCA as well, but it's kind of a couple of other things. So it's coming very useful. I'm so glad I actually bought this because I needed a VCA. Now, the middle one there, that is the out to the, so that's working as a VCA now. So now what you can do is take a sip of coffee. Envelopes. Let's hold. There we go. That's our attack. Now this hold thing, hold 1, holds a bit after the attack, so it gives a little punch. The AHDSR. So that's what that hold does. It just adds a little bit of hold after the attack. Right, let's stop that for a second. Right, so now we've done that. Now this output, rather than going straight out there, ideally it should be going to a filter. Now we don't have a filter here at the moment, so let's take it through a Moog filter and see what happens. You have to connect the MIDI as well, because it opens the gate that they're holding. There's an external audio port there, which means you audio voltage. Now what'll make this even better is, now we have this, right? This envelope here, that is what the first one, because this is a dual envelope. So the envelope to this is going into there, the actual signal. Now the second envelope, we can actually use it. This out too, right? That's lighting up. We can use that. That's it. So basically, this is the envelope generator. This has become the envelope generator of that filter. So that filter is now being shaped around this. Oh, some of these sound really nice. Now what we can do here is we can attach an LFO to that. So the LFO, either this one or these, any of these are the LFOs. Let's put the frequency up, the lights start. Yeah, so this is a wave output LFO. This is a square wave LFO. That's triangle, and that's sawtooth. So this, let's do a wave. So you can control this. Basically, it's going through a Moog filter. So a little demonstration here on how all this can work, and how I can incorporate the Moog with this. Now then, I have a little surprise. I actually kept one more module as a surprise though. And that is, I got myself a Doppler Wasp filter. And that is, it's quite unique. Apparently it's the origin of it, oops, sorry. Pressed on the key. The origin of it is actually from the 70s, the Wasp filter itself. I'm not exactly sure. I mean, I did read like a quick blurb about it, and it did seem interesting. So that's why I got it, because it's something different to what I have already. I've got Moog filters, I've got other filters, other sort of filter. I've got SID filter and all this, but I'm a Wasp filter. So I decided to get it, and it, thankfully I didn't, again, secondhand, so it's not expensive. So let's turn this off and install this. Now, please do excuse any sounds from out the window, because there's a few things going on out there. Ooh. It's my own voltage going through the filter, the Moog filter. That's what I sound like through Moog. Not very pretty. Okay, so now we have a beautiful filter in my setup. So now this middle one, that one above here, that is the audio out, the waveform out, I should say. Waveform out goes, well, it's audio waveform, because it says here audio in, it means waveform in. So that goes into there. Low pass, high pass out. You can do band pass out as well. Ooh, sounds like a SID. Right, let's wait for that airplane to fly over, because is adding some extra effects that I did not install in my Modular Synth. So let's connect now, while that's flying over, this out to the CV out into, actually no, let's not connect it just yet. Not just yet. Let's explore the filter without the control voltage first. No, sorry, that's the level. That's the frequency. Beautiful cutoff. That's CV2. That's the control voltage. The resonance. Apparently this goes a bit nuts. Let's do the sequence. It goes nuts, right? This. Let's connect the control voltage. To CV2. Put the resonance down so it stops screaming at me. Alright, so as you can see, the envelope is shaping it now, this thing. It's quite an unruly and wild filter. What I want to do now, rather than just putting it on a sequencer, because it is a bit annoying, I want to do like real world application of this. Alright, I have to quantize that. The only problem with this hysteria is that it doesn't go any lower with regards to octaves. It just goes higher. So whatever you've putting in there, there's no way of going lower unless you just, it's so loud a tune. And the pitch like slowly disappears. Right, so let's now connect this to the Polyend tracker. Okay, so this is a new track that I've been working on. Well, I've just completed it. It's from the latest album that I'm currently working on. Right, so what I want to do, I think the lead on this section here, I'm going to try and create it from here. Not like permanently, I'm happy with the song the way it is. It's just to mess around, just to see what I can, because I've already recorded this track. After the effort I've put in recording it, if it turns out that it sounds better than what I've recorded, I'm going to have to do all that again though. But let's just see. Right, so the lead is here. It probably sounds nice off. With this hysteria thing, let's turn that off. Chorus. It's hard to tune it to proper C. It just putting that max and quantizing it doesn't do that. Ooh, that sounds good. Ooh, that actually sounds nice. I mean, it doesn't suit the track, but it sounds nice. Yeah, I'm really happy with that. When I first sort of started messing with this, you know, when I was trying to figure it out, when I instantly like put it all together for the first time, I was actually kind of, oh my god, what have I done? Sort of. There was like a hint of that moment where I was like, oh my god, what have I done? Because I couldn't get anything working. I couldn't get a sound out of it, and it's that slight sinking feeling that you get, you know, when that happens. But thankfully, you know, I just messed with it a few hours, and I know exactly how each of these work now, and their quirks and their little things that they've got conditions. Each of these little things, they've got conditions like, I only work under this condition if you do this with me and this properly. And there we go. That's how I managed to kind of have a little tantrum with each of them. So yeah, I'm, all in all, my bank balance may not be, but I'm happy that I got a modular synth and I tried it out. And I'm looking forward to, in future, just like taking it easy now and just adding to it, because I know that I can make really good sounds with this, and I love to tinker and explore and things like that, and that's probably one of the reasons why I love synths and things like that. And this also, I'm into, obviously if you know me from my channel, you will know that I'm into electronics, so this kind of gives me that fluffy feel that like I'm on a breadboard or something like this. You know, I'm connecting circuits to one another. So obviously there's gonna be connectivity with the Amiga going on with this. You know, I'm excited about that. But also I will be, you know, adding more to it. I'm gonna be painting the case as well, and just modifying it and just customizing it for myself, because I like to do that with things. Anyway, thanks so much for your likes, your shares. Do leave your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to check out my other videos, because I've got a huge backlog of videos. I've been around for a while on YouTube, 10 years now. For now, I will say adios. I wish to thank all of my patrons for the support. A big thank you and respect especially to the following top tier patrons who have gone out of their way with their generous support: Rich Garbett, Axel Dominator, Jason Marison, Corey Ostman, Mark Bosak, Monochrome Minako, Bamdad Khan. A big thank you and respect to each one of you who are supporting me and who have been throughout my nostalgia journey in some sort of way. It really means a lot. Thank you so much.